Aizen Sosuke. Aizen is one of the most iconic anime villains of all time. His intelligence, charisma, and overwhelming power make him a truly terrifying antagonist. Aizen's ultimate goal was to overthrow Soul King in order to break past the limitations of a Soul Reaper and become a transcendent being. A highly manipulative being who manipulated everyone for his favor and had no empathy for anyone after they have finished serving him. Aizen once faked his death to create confusion, betraying the Soul Society. His Zanpakuto, Kyoka Suigetsu, allows him to control senses of his opponents, trapping them in an inescapable illusion and killing them later. He was really calm and composed even in front of his enemies, also treated everyone as insignificant due to his god complex. A master of betrayal who hypnotized everyone then mocked them for falling for it, Aizen still remains one of the greatest threats the Soul Society ever had.
That's because I didn't allow you to see it until just now. You'll soon understand.
Iwok. Iwok is a major antagonist in Bleach, created by Tite Kubo. He is the father of all Quincy and leader of the Wandenreich, a hidden Quincy faction that survived within the shadows of Soul Society. He is highly intelligent, manipulative, and ruthless, willing to kill even his most loyal followers to further his goals. He sees death as a weakness and seeks to eliminate it by merging the human world, Soul Society, and Hueco Mundo. He slaughtered numerous Shinigami, including Captain Commander Yamamoto. Using deception, he tricks Yamamoto into wasting his Bankai and then steals it before cutting him in half. A villain who can see and change the future, but didn't see his own downfall coming. Iwok's ultimate goal is realized when he kills and absorbs the Soul King, the entity that maintains balance in the universe. By doing this, he begins reshaping reality itself, nearly collapsing the boundaries between the worlds. Judge Holden, appearing as the main antagonist in Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy. Judge Holden is one of the most enigmatic, terrifying, and diabolical characters in American literature. Judge Holden is a 7 feet tall, completely hairless man with unnervingly pale skin and cold, piercing eyes. His massive frame, combined with pristine frontier attire, gives him an almost supernatural presence. He leads the Glanton Gang, a group of scalp hunters who kill Native Americans and others for profit. At one point, the Glanton Gang encounters Apache children, and Holden personally murders them. Unlike others who kill for money or power, Holden kills to prove a point: violence is an eternal truth. According to me, Holden is not just a villain, but a walking philosophy of destruction. Eventually in the novel, he kills the protagonist in an outhouse and established his dominance, saying that he will never die. This ambiguous, yet terrifying ending reinforces Holden's supernatural aura. He is not just a man, but a symbol of war and destruction itself.
Who am I? Let's just say I'm God.
Light Yagami. Light Yagami is the lead character of Death Note, an anime and manga series created by Tsugumi Oba and Takeshi Obata. Light Yagami starts as an ambitious and idealistic student, but descends into a ruthless dictator, blinded by his own god complex. Considers the world to be corrupt and full of criminals, when one day he discovers a mysterious notebook called the Death Note, which allows him to kill anyone whose name he writes in it. He then embarks on a mission to create a utopia free of crime, where he will be the godlike ruler. An intelligent and bright student who got converted into a narcissistic, power-hungry, ruthless villain who killed and manipulated people. He proves that even straight A students can fail ethics. Misa, who also possesses a Death Note, is deeply in love with Light. He uses her feelings to control her. His journey from justice seeker to tyrant makes him one of anime's most complex and infamous characters.
This is my perfect victory! That's right! I win!
Griffith. Griffith is a complex antagonist from Berserk, a dark fantasy manga and anime series created by Kentaro Miura. He is the leader of the mercenary group, the Band of the Hawk. Griffith has strikingly beautiful features, with platinum blonde hair, piercing blue eyes, and a charismatic, intelligent, and calculating personality. He is always able to inspire loyalty in others. Griffith's dream is to build his own kingdom, a vision he relentlessly pursues, and he will do anything to achieve it, including using others as stepping stones. During the eclipse, he willingly allows his comrades to be slaughtered by Demoic apostles, all to fulfill his destiny. Just a charming guy who'll throw you under the bus for his big vision. Following the eclipse, Griffith takes on a godlike persona and ascends to a position of unimaginable power, creating his own kingdom and leading an army of apostles. Griffith's story is one of ambition, betrayal, and the cost of pursuing one's dreams at the expense of others.
But if there is one thing I can do for them, for the dead, it is to win.
Buu. Majin Buu is one of the most dangerous and unpredictable villains in the anime Dragon Ball Z. Initially sealed away by Bibidi, Buu was later revived by Bibidi's son, Babidi, to wreak havoc once more. His many transformations reflect his evolving personality. Fat Buu is childish yet destructive, Super Buu is sadistic and strategic, while Kid Buu is pure, mindless chaos. His abilities include regeneration, absorption, and turning people into candy, which he gleefully devours. Among his most notorious acts are the human extinction attack, wiping out nearly all life on Earth, absorbing powerful warriors like Gohan and Gotenks, and even destroying Earth itself in his final, most dangerous form. That's too much destruction coming from someone who looks like bubblegum. His battle against Goku and Vegeta on the sacred world of the Kai pushed the Z fighters to their limits. Buu proved to be one of the most unpredictable and powerful foes the Z fighters ever faced.
Goodbye! Enough is enough!
Sukuna, Ryomen Sukuna, known as the King of Curses, is the most feared antagonist in Jujutsu Kaisen. Sukuna is arrogant, sadistic, and power-hungry creature who thrives on destruction and dominance. He manipulates opponents and adapts quickly in battle. His most infamous acts include mass slaughter in the Heian era and wiping out thousands in Shibuya while controlling Yuji Itadori. He even defeated powerful foes like Jogo and Mahoraga effortlessly. His deadliest achievement was outsmarting and killing Gojo Satoru, the strongest modern sorcerer, using Megumi's body, another overpowered, sadistic villain who treats mass murder like a casual hobby. As the ultimate embodiment of chaos he was, Sukuna remains the most terrifying force in Jujutsu Kaisen.
Cursed flesh is so boring. So now, where are the people?
Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom, also known as Victor Von Doom, is one of the most iconic villains in Marvel Comics, primarily serving as the archenemy of the Fantastic Four. He is a complex mix of intellect, sorcery, and tyranny. Born in Latveria, Victor Von Doom lost his mother to Mephisto and his father to persecution. He became a scientific genius and a sorcerer, but his arrogance led to a failed experiment that scarred his face. Dr. Doom has stolen the Silver Surfer's power, reshaped reality in Secret Wars, and nearly conquered Wakanda. He battled Mephisto for his mother's soul, ruled as God Emperor Doom. He is in a constant rivalry with the Fantastic Four, mainly Reed Richards, whom he considered his greater adversary. Can't wait to see the real-life adaptation of Dr. Doom by Robert Downey Jr. He still remains an unyielding ruler who could have been the world's greatest hero under different circumstances. Tangerine, the relentless assassin from Bullet Train, has a physique that perfectly matches his no-nonsense, hard-hitting personality. He's not a bodybuilder, and his frame is compact yet muscular, built for efficiency rather than excess size. With broad shoulders, strong arms, and a defined core, his physique is one of a man who's been in countless fights. His strength is functional, allowing him to throw powerful punches, take hits, and move with the speed and precision of a trained killer. Achieving a physique like Tangerine's would require a mix of calisthenics, boxing, strength training, and endurance work. But what truly makes him dangerous isn't just his body, it's his sharp instincts, his brutal efficiency, and his ability to stay calm under pressure, making him one of the deadliest characters in Bullet Train. Dexter Morgan, the meticulous forensic expert and secret serial killer from Dexter, has a physique that reflects his calculated and methodical nature. He isn't built like a bodybuilder or a fighter, but is lean and athletic. His physique is a balanced combination toned muscles, a strong core, and just enough strength to subdue his victims when necessary. Dexter's training doesn't come from the gym, but from his double life. Stalking targets, restraining victims, and carefully executing his kills require control, stealth, and stamina. A physique like Dexter's is achievable through a mix of cardio, functional strength training, and endurance-based workouts. He wouldn't focus on heavy lifting, but rather on bodyweight exercises, swimming, and activities that enhance balance and control. But Dexter's real weapon isn't his body, it's his mind. Diddy's physique is that of a man who's been running the game for decades, lean, powerful, and fueled by equal parts ambition and chaos. He's not out here chasing a bodybuilder look, but he stays fit enough to stunt in designer suits and keep up with his streak of assaulting and drugging people in his parties. Diddy's workouts go beyond the gym. His cardio comes from wild, all-night parties and questionable VIP room antics. His endurance, tested by scandal after scandal, somehow always coming out the other side still rich and still outside. Want a physique like Diddy's? Sure. Hit the gym, lift weights, and keep the stamina high. But let's not talk about his real secret to staying in shape, if you know what I mean. Toji Fushiuru, the ultimate menace from Jujutsu Kaisen, has a physique that screams pure, unfiltered power. His frame is the perfect blend of a street fighter and an elite assassin. Broad shoulders, thick arms, and a rock-solid core, but without the excess bulk that slows a man down. Toji doesn't train like a bodybuilder. His strength is built through years of real combat and high-stakes deadly missions, while his fat-burning cardio comes from chasing targets or escaping his responsibilities. His grip strength alone is enough to scare his opponents, and his legs? Pure power, built for speed, dodging, and launching devastating attacks. Achieving a body like Toji's all about heavy compound lifts, explosive calisthenics, combat training, and just the right amount of recklessness. But let's be real, his real strength is not his physique. It comes from his sheer will and fearlessness. Damon Salvatore, the ultimate bad boy of the Vampire Diaries, has a physique that perfectly matches his dangerous charm. His lean, athletic build is sculpted for speed, agility, and seduction. Broad shoulders, a defined chest, and a tight, toned core give him that effortlessly strong, yet refined look. Damon's physique doesn't come from hitting the gym, rather it comes from his supernatural strength, centuries of fights, and a blood diet that somehow keeps him shredded. If a human were to achieve a physique like Damon's, it would take a mix of bodyweight training, high-intensity cardio, and staying lean without sacrificing muscle to get such model build. But let's be real, Damon's didn't work for that physique, rather it's another benefit of his vampire abilities. Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, is the embodiment of a living, breathing weapon. His build isn't about flashy muscle. It's pure, utilitarian power. Broad shoulders, ironclad arms, and a core hardened by battle come together to create a frame that's as intimidating as it is efficient. His conditioning isn't the result of a vanity gym routine, but years of explosive, high-intensity combat training and grueling missions. Think heavy compound lifts, relentless calisthenics, and raw, unfiltered fight drills. No fluff. Just results. Even his cybernetic arm adds an extra edge. If you were to chase a Winter Soldier-like physique, you'd need more than just weights and cardio. You'd have to embrace a lifestyle built on discipline, resilience, and the unwavering drive to push beyond limits. Maruam, the king of the Chimera ants from Hunter x Hunter, isn't just strong, he's the pinnacle of evolution itself. He isn't overly bulky like a brute, nor is he thin like a speedster. Instead, his frame is the perfect blend of power and agility. Broad shoulders, a sculpted chest, and a defined yet compact core give him a look that is both regal and menacing. His limbs are long but packed with dense muscle, built for rapid, precise movements while maintaining crushing strength. Even though it is impossible to attain a physique like that in real, still, for a human to achieve even a fraction of Maruam's physique, they'd need elite-level training, explosive strength workouts, relentless agility drills, and a warrior's mindset. Roronoa Zoro has one of the most monstrous physiques in anime history. His body is a testament to pure strength, built through relentless training and insane dedication. His chest is broad, his core is solid as iron, and his arms? Pure power, forged from wielding 3 swords like they're extensions of his own body. His forearms are freakishly dense, built to withstand the force of his own attacks, and crush anything in his path. His training includes lifting absurdly heavy weights with his teeth, endless push-ups, insane endurance drills, and constant combat. He doesn't train for aesthetics. His goal is to become the strongest swordsman, and his body reflects that. For a beginner in the gym, achieving even a fraction of his physique would take years of hardcore lifting, endurance training, and sheer willpower. But Zoro isn't just strong, he's relentless. His muscles aren't for show, they're built for war, making him one of the most physically dominant warriors in anime history.
The Joker, featured as the main antagonist in DC Comics' Batman series and Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. He is the finest portrayal of a psychotic criminal with a sadistic humor. As a true disciple of chaos, his only motive is to create as much ruckus as possible. Unlike other villains, the Joker isn't driven by money or power. He even burns a whole lot of money once, just to prove he doesn't need it. Leaving a Joker card after every crime depicts his fearless nature of being unbothered by the consequences of what he did. He hurts his victims mentally and physically, and does not hesitate in hitting below the belt. He traps Batman between saving either his love Rachel or public hero Harvey Dent, which concludes in Rachel's painful demise, converting Harvey Dent into the villain Two-Face, making Batman guilty of his own choices.
I'm a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do with one if I caught it.
Hannibal Lectar, created by Thomas Harris in his novels, and most prominently appeared in the classic psychological thriller, The Silence of the Lambs, Lecter is a diabolically insane serial killer who who practices cannibalism with his victims after killing them. Despite being a highly intellectual psychiatrist and surgeon, Lecter's past life trauma made him kill those who were rude or disrespectful towards him. While I don't think a past life trauma gives you a license to kill someone, he once orchestrates an escape by killing 2 guards and disguises himself with one victim's actual face. Despite being a killer with aggressive issues, he has a great taste for wine and art, also too calm and composed for a cannibal. He also helps FBI agent Clarice Starling to hunt another killer using his wit. All this makes him a terrific mixture of sophistication and intellect, coupled with his monstrosity.
Our scars have the power to remind us that the past was real.
Darth Vader appeared in the Star Wars movie franchise. Darth Vader, also known as Anakin Skywalker, is one of the most iconic and merciless characters in cinematic history. Born a slave with exceptional skills, he was believed to be the chosen one as mentioned in the prophecy, but later turned to the dark side of the Force, betraying the Jedi Order to save his lover and being manipulated by Darth Sidious. He fought with his master, leaving him heavily injured, hence encased in the iconic black suit to save his life, which later became the symbol of death and horror. He became the greatest Sith Lord and led the assault on the Jedi temples and butchered 66 Jedi, not even left the babies and children. Later hunted down every fugitive survivor he can found. How insecure you need to be to kill little babies out of fear of them growing up and seeking vengeance. He was a master lightsaber duelist and pilot with abilities like telekinesis and mind control. He gets a chance of redemption and seizes it by saving his son and destroying the Sith, proving to be the chosen one.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Homelander is the main antagonist of the comic and its series adaptation, The Boys. He is the true embodiment of strength, speed, power, and ability to fly with a charismatic and majestic personality. Totally invincible. He leads the Seven and is often perceived as a savior who idolizes justice by common people. But in reality, he is a narcissistic demon who is blinded by his powers and considers himself superior from everyone else. He enjoys killing humans and weaker supes ruthlessly because he looks upon them as insects who should be his slaves. Well, Homelander does need some help with his unstable mind. Imagine having the best power and mind, still can't become a good father, superhero, or leader. Once accompanied by Queen Maeve, he tries to save a hijacked plane, but in his arrogance breaks the plane and causes a catastrophe, resulting in the death of everyone on board. In the comics, he also takes over the U.S. government, resulting in a massacre in the Pentagon. Homelander is a perfect example of power gone in wrong hands.
I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better. I am better.
Thanos, seen in the Marvel Comics and movie franchise, Avengers. Thanos, also known as the Mad Titan, is a purple-colored humongous villain and is known for his fearless, remorseless nature paired with great fighting techniques and power, that he even crushes the mighty Hulk without any extra help. He, with his double-edged sword and a massive army notoriously known as the Kitori, destroyed many planets, wiping out whole population to restore balance in the universe. Though being a nefarious monster, Thanos carried special affection for his adopted daughter, Gamora, whose race was brutally massacred by him. He carried a motive to collect all the Infinity Stones and erase half of the living universe to attain what he called balance. I don't know, man, but you could have just doubled the resources instead of killing half the population. He destroyed millions of lives, fought with an army of superheroes, and even sacrificed his favorite daughter. No, not her, the green one, to do what he wanted with a single snap, after which he retired and left everything to live a peaceful life on a deserted planet all by himself. The genocidal maniac leaves a lasting legacy of pain on every Marvel character.
The hardest choices require the strongest wills.
Sauron. The lead antagonist in The Lord of the Rings, Sauron is an evil spirit, more of an entity which craves for control over the Middle-earth on the races of humans, elves, and dwarfs, for which he forges a ring of power. a ring which carries immense power to rule the world, containing tendencies to choose its bearer and decides the destiny of the bearer. Sauron, with the help of this ring and army of orcs, destroys everything on Middle-earth, but ends up losing in the siege of Barad-dûr, and the ring goes to Isildur while the Dark Lord vanishes with his shrunken power. Imagine being the strongest entity and watching everything still being defeated by two hobbits. He reincarnates after many centuries, waging a war on Middle-earth and its inhabitants. But without the ring, he is nothing except an eye on the tower which sees everything. Sauron is an evil, manipulative, corrupted entity which once was a pure soul, but got corrupted by Morgoth and lead an abomination.
You cannot hide.
Anton Chigger, created by Cormac McCarthy in his novel No Country for Old Men. Chigger is a psychotic killer who lacks conscience and is so compassionate about his work that he kills whosoever dares crossing him. He carries a special bolt pistol which he uses to kill people and blow out door handles. He is a strong war veteran turned into a fatalistic hitman with strict but twisted moral codes. He often decides his victims' fates with a toss. Despite being severely hurt in the face-off with the protagonist Llewellyn Moss, he goes on to find him and kill him because he took his money. He is justified in his views, even though he is a nihilistic murderer who lacks humanity. I don't think any man with such traits should be walking on the streets. Truly monstrous. He would go to any extent just to take the revenge from anyone who crosses him once. No apologies or regret accepted. If you wronged him, you got the angel of death on your back. He often kills people in cold, methodical way that shows how he receives sadistic pleasure from it.
I need you to step out of the car, sir.
Voldemort, appearing as the main antagonist in the novel-based movie franchise Harry Potter. Written by J.K. Rowling, Voldemort is a cold-blooded dark magician whose only motive was to kill all the half-blood and muggles and establish a world of pure-blooded magicians. He is a wicked magician with a wit beyond imagination from the fear of getting killed. He uses the Horcrux spell to divide his soul in 7 different objects and hides them where no one can find. He and his order contains many powerful dark magicians and Death Eaters who are on the mission to kill Harry Potter, the only person who survived Voldemort's attack and has the power to kill the Dark Lord. The huge cult of true and loyal followers Voldemort had still shocks me. He is dreaded that it's totally forbidden to take his name because it may summon him or reveal your location to him. He can talk to snakes, and his pet snake, Nagini, is one of his Horcruxes. Tom Riddle's journey from being a brilliant student of Hogwarts and master of magic to transforming into a Dark Lord shows us a lot about wrong ambition and power. So yeah, that was all for today's video.
From this day forth, you put your faith in me.
Negan is one of the most iconic antagonists in the comic and its series adaptation The Walking Dead, set in the post-zombie apocalypse world. Once a high school gym coach turned into a ruthless murderer after his wife's demise. He built the group Saviors, notorious for their extorting and exploiting the survivor communities, and with his favorite weapon, Lucille, a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire, Negan led them all. A true control freak by nature who wanted everyone to work under his supremacy. He once brutally murdered Glenn and Abraham, 2 members of Rick's group, just to establish his dominance, triggering a wave of fear in every person of the group, breaking them mentally and emotionally. Rick some skulls and crack some jokes type of person. I really admire this dude.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Negan, a witty and charismatic leader with a sarcastic sense of humor, was extremely loyal towards his people and expected the same in return. And when betrayed, he was never hesitant to use Lucille. Though becoming a better man in the end of series and fighting alongside groups, Negan still remains one of the most compelling and disastrous villain of the series.
Oh my God. Are you gonna make me count? Okay, Rick, you win. I am counting. 3!
Penguin, appearing as one of the most prominent antagonists in DC Comics Batman and TV series, The Penguin. Oz Cobb, a disfigured human who experienced suppression due to his looks and stature, growing up to become one of the most deadliest monsters on the streets of Gotham. Laced with intelligence and cunningness, he ran an extensive criminal network in the Gotham underworld. Penguin established the Iceberg Lounge, a renowned nightclub, to camouflage his unlawful ventures like money laundering and arm dealings. Being raised in a so affluent environment, he was majorly driven by greed and hunger for power. Personally, I prefer the animated Penguin with his exceptional style and umbrella weapon. Followed by Falcone's demise, the Penguin takes over his network via outmaneuvering Sophia and Salvatore Maroni, showing his impeccable wit.
Fuck what they think. Let them wait.
Klaus Mikaelson. Klaus is the most powerful and indestructible character to be seen in the series, The Vampire Diaries and the originals. Though seen as a violent, dreadful villain, he was more of an anti-hero due to love and loyalty for his close ones. Klaus, a hybrid, belongs to the original family of vampires, possessing supernatural abilities of both werewolves and vampires, which takes him on top of the supernatural hierarchy, and was also considered as an abomination due to it. Klaus was so merciless that once when a farmer denied giving his land to him, Klaus massacred his whole village and turned the farmer into a vampire just so he could bear that pain forever with him, eventually taking all the land. Known for his charisma and manipulation, he even manipulated Stefan Salvatore to become a Ripper once again. Super speed, super strength, and immortal man. I really wish I had those powers. Despite being a ruthless and evil monster, he dies protecting his daughter and family.
I'm the hybrid! I can't be killed!
Freddy Krueger, appearing most prominently in the horror movie The Nightmare on Elm Street and other thriller movies. Freddy Krueger is a diabolical antagonist who kills his victims by agonizing them in their sleep. Born to an assaulted mother and raised up in an abusive household, led Freddy to become a psychotic child killer. When caught, Krueger was executed by burning alive, after which he became a vengeful spirit haunting the Elm Streets. With his half-burned face and a glove with sharp blades on every finger, his sight would give anyone chills. He killed his victims by injuring them in their dreams, which eventually became real because of his powers. He would get inside your mind and haunt you in your dreams with his shape-shifting techniques and illusions. There's good and bad, there's bad and good, and then there's Freddy Krueger, pure evil. Overall, a deadly ghost. One of the most brutal and bloodthirsty villain out there.
I've been guarding my gate for a long time, bitch.
Lord Farquaad, the shrewd dwarf appearing as the main antagonist in the animation comedy Shrek. Lord Farquaad is ruthless, egoistic, and tyrannical creature. He is arrogant and obsessed with perfection and control. He despises fairy tale creatures and exiles them from his kingdom like he exiled Shrek, the protagonist, just because he was a giant. His notably short appearance and cowardice is the main source of humor in the movie. Despite being the ruling candidate, he sent Shrek to retrieve Fiona from the dragon so that he can marry her and become the king. Man got a nice bob cut though. He controls the whole kingdom with his cunning and deceptive nature. Farquaad still remains one of the most iconic animated antagonists due to his exaggerated arrogance, comedic portrayal, and memorable quotes.
It's rude enough being alive when no one wants you. Outrageous!
Bane, seen most prominently in Batman, The Dark Knight Rises, and other Batman animations. Bane is one of the finest foe Batman ever had. Bane was born and grown up in Pena Duro, a brutal prison where he learned to survive through sheer willpower, intelligence, and physical training. He was subjected to venom in the prison, which gave him superhuman strength. With his mask filled with painkiller anesthetic, he is seen continuously protecting Talia despite so many injuries. In the comic, he is seen breaking Batman's back in the Batcave, leaving Batman paralyzed. Powered by venom, fueled by intelligence, and driven by hatred and chaos, makes him truly invincible. Tom Hardy really did justice to Bane's character. A master in fighting skill who controls a number of criminal organizations, still remains loyal at the hand of Talia al Ghul.
You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it.
Nagato Uzumaki. Nagato, also known as Pain, serves as one of the most significant antagonists in the anime series Naruto. Uzumaki was born in a Megacure and was a descendant of the Uzumaki clan, known for their powerful chakra and longevity. He later formed Akatsuki, aiming to bring peace to the world, but not in a really peaceful way. He possessed different abilities like Shinra Tensei, Chubaku Tensei, and many more. Once he destroyed the Hidden Leaf Village using Shinra Tensei and even killed his former mentor in a fiercely battle. Nagato carried such immense power and strength that he nearly killed the protagonist Naruto. My man here aimed for peace by pain and sufferings. He is a tragic product of war who idolized the wrong way for the right desire.
Those who do not know pain will never understand true peace.
Eustace Bag. Eustace Bag, the grumpy old villain appearing in the children anime Courage the Cowardly Dog. He lived with his old loving wife and pet dog Courage in the middle of nowhere. Despite looking ill-tempered and brave from outside, Eustace is coward and greedy who does anything for wealth. One of his most iconic moments is when he puts on a scary mask to frighten Courage, yelling, "Booga booga booga." He often partners up with supernatural beings out of greed, which eventually backfires on him. Such a scumbag also got a loving and innocent wife, Muriel. Eustace is also a great ingredient for comedy in the show, like when he transforms into a giant eggplant or a mile due to supernatural curses. Though he is mostly an antagonist to Courage, his character adds humor and tension to the show, making it better.
Booga booga booga!